2009 BMW M3. And it has an oil leak. I know. Shocking. Where is it leaking from? Well, it's pretty common. It's the oil filter housing gasket. And I ignored it for a while. But it's kind of got to the point where I have to fix it. So, what are we going to need? The gasket itself, oil cooler O-rings, and the water pump O-ring, as well as coolant, and some brake and parts cleaner, just to get everything cleaned up. So we put it back together, it doesn't leak again. You will need a metric socket set, torque sockets, e-torque socket set, which is Torx but like reverse, I guess, and a basic set of hand tools, wrenches, screwdrivers, stuff like that. So the first parts that need to come off to get to the oil filter housing gasket are the air box and the air tube, and this little air intake piece right here. Okay, so let's get this off. I'm going to want to unhook the intake for the air injection pump, like so. There's a 6mm socket to loosen up this clamp. Of course, this is an aftermarket piece, so it might be different if your car is stock. And you just pop it out. I'm going to remove the two bolts here and here, holding the air box in. Now, during my car's ownership, someone lost these and just replaced them with a random bolt, 10mm, and an 8mm. I don't think either of them are effective. And the airbox comes out. So as you can see, I got the fan out. Fought me a little bit. Had to pull both of the hoses to get room to get it out. And now I need to remove this hose that runs from the coolant reservoir to this junction here. Take a trusty little flathead screwdriver, pop up the little spring clip, give it a wiggle, and it should pop off. You're going to lose some coolant, which is okay. Though our bucket didn't catch really. Okay, so hoses are out of the way, the fan shroud's out of the way. So next is pulling the belts, which is just a matter of releasing tension from the tensioner and sliding the belt off. Before you do that, draw a diagram of the belt, because BMW doesn't put a diagram under the hood anywhere like Most automakers do. Or just take a picture. The belt for the power steering and AC comes off first. Okay, so I got the power steering belt off. And next we need to take off the oil cooler lines. It's just two 13mm nuts that hold it to the housing. Some oil will leak out, obviously. That's one off. So now that I got things cleaned up a little, I got to pull the water pump out so that I can get the oil filter housing off, because the water pump gets in the way. It's held on with 4 T30 Torx. There's 2 threaded holes in the water pump, and the bolts that hold the pump to the block fit those, and you turn them in and it pushes the water pump away from the block. Okay, so we're at the point where we're actually going to pull the oil filter housing off of the car. It's mostly T30 Torx head bolts, and there's a couple T40s, I believe. Actually, scratch that, it's T45. Some of them are hard to see, so you're going to have to use a mirror and a flashlight to find them. But that's the most difficult part. But it's as simple as pulling the part off, cleaning the mating surfaces, putting the new gasket on, buttoning it back up. It's not hard, it's just tedious. You can see one here. One here. And then there's our special little friend. So this last one you have to get with some ingenuity. I cut down a T30 Torx to fit deeper into this pass-through ratchet, which should fit in between the balancer and the head of the bolt. You need to do something like this, otherwise you're pulling the harmonic balancer. And it's loose. Oh, there's two down there. Make sure your socket is snug so you don't strip it. And just take your time. Go slow. Not a race. And there you have it. The oil filter housing is out of the car. You can see the old gasket still stuck to the block. Dry and brittle like always.